Welcome to Module 3, Lesson 3. Our I can statement is, I can solve a multiplicative comparison problem by using division with drawings and equations. So we know we're focusing back on multiplicative comparisons, but this time we're going to see how we can use division to solve a multiplicative comparison. Olivia is in the photography club. She takes 15 photos at a garden. That is 3 times as many photos as she takes at school. How many photos does Olivia take at school? Use a bar model to show the problem. Let n represent the unknown. Well, that means we need to determine what is the unknown. The unknown is how many photos she's going to take at school. So school is our unknown. We know how many she takes in the garden. In the garden, she takes a total of 15. Write an equation to model the problem. Use n for the unknown. So the problem shows us there's 3 times as many as n is equal to the 15 total photos she takes in the garden. So we know that equation will be 3 times n is equal to 15. Letter C, use the inverse operation to solve the problem. Now, a reminder about what an inverse operation is. Let's take a look at the vocabulary. An inverse operation, such as multiplication and division, undo each other. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So if we have 3 groups of 2, we'll have 6. If we take that 6 and split it back into those 3 groups, we will have 2 in each of the groups. So the inverse operation of multiplication is division. We know that 3 groups of n will equal 15. So if we take that 15 and put it into 3 groups, then n will tell us how many are in each group. So 15 divided into 3 groups would equal 5 in each group. So that shows us that Olivia will take 5 photos at school. This year, 28 students are in chess club. Last year, 7 students were in the club. How many times as many students are in the chess club this year than last year? Write a multiplication equation to model the problem. Use n for the unknown. The unknown in this equation is how many times as many students were in the club this year than last. We know how many were in last year. 7 students were in last year. So last year would be 7 students. This year, we don't know how many groups of 7 there are, but we do know that there are a total of 28. So something times 7, some group of 7, will equal the 28 students there are this year. So we need to find those 28 students that we have this year. How many equal groups of 7 would that be? That's going to equal our n. How many times as many students are there? We know there are 4 times as many students in the chess club this year than there were last. So if we wanted to show that in our comparison, we have 4 groups of 7. 4 times as many students are in this year than were in last year. Right, let's go ahead and check your understanding now. Write multiplication and division equations To model and solve the problem, use N for the unknown. Leslie collects 24 aluminum cans and 8 glass bottles for the recycling club. How many times as many cans as bottles does Leslie collect? Okay, so we know that she's going to collect bottles and cans. She collects 8 bottles. We don't know how many times as many, right? But we do know she collects a total of 24 cans. So some number, asks us to use N, times as many as 8 is going to equal the 24 cans that she has. We can show that using the inverse operation. 24 divided by 8 is going to equal that number of how many times as many? Well, N is going to be equal to 3. Leslie collects 3 times as many. And we can even show that in our model, right? 3 groups of 8 is equal to 24. It's a good way to check our work. So Leslie collects 3 times as many cans as bottles. The students in the cooking club bake 12 blueberry muffins. They bake twice as many blueberry muffins as corn muffins. How many corn muffins do the students bake? Okay, so we've got corn muffins and we got blueberry muffins. We know they bake 12 blueberry muffins, and that blueberry muffins is twice the number of corn muffins. And this twice as many is equal to 12. So we need to find how many corn muffins there are. And again, it's asking us to use N for our unknown. So we know that twice as many as N will equal our 12 blueberry muffins. So if we take those 12 blueberry muffins into 2 groups, twice as many, we know that N will equal 6. The students bake 6 corn muffins in the cooking club.